Hello and welcome back to the History of series. In today's entry, we'll be taking a look at a more niche area of cyber history, being the Orion War. So, let's begin. Androids became commonplace in Earth Empire society, but were viewed as an underclass to humans. 8 years prior to 2503, the Orion androids finally became fed up with the situation and moved en masse to the relatively unused Orion system. They set up their own government, with the stipulation that humans living in the system could stay if they accepted android rule. The Earth Empire considered this a violation of sentient rights, and so attacked. By 2503, after 8 years of fighting, the war had reached a stalemate. To break it, the Earth military sent an agent to the Garrison system to retrieve cyber technology from a derelict cyber star destroyer abandoned in the cyber wars a generation earlier. The agent was in reality an android, Diva Jansen, who wished to discover the secrets of cyber conversion. The Eighth Doctor managed to dissuade her from keeping the information she'd learnt, and kept the reactivated star destroyer busy until it was destroyed by a local ion storm. In the aftermath of the failed expedition, the Earth government founded Project Scorpius to salvage and exploit any cyber technology. Android spy Samantha Thorne was assigned to investigate the project. The Seventh Doctor encountered two android agents, Sarah and Temeter, investigating a cyber tomb on Tasek. When the tomb awoke, they worked together to contain the Cybermen. The Earth military eventually found a source of cyber technology in a crashed ship off the coast of the Isle of Wight, a remnant of a past invasion. However, the cyber planner on board managed to take over Project Scorpius. The project was officially closed down by President Duncan Levinson, however continued in secret with its former leader, Paul Hunt, being converted into a cybrid, a human augmented with cyber technology but not fully converted. 20 years into the Orion War, Admiral Karen Brett rose to prominence after finally achieving a victory over the androids following years of defeats. Controversially, Karen achieved this victory by torturing android sympathizers for intelligence, which made President Levinson dislike her, though he publicly praised her. Brett was recalled to Earth to be promoted to Commander-in-Chief, and en route was summoned to a meeting with Paul Hunt on a barren planet. Hunt hinted to her about Project Scorpius and Levinson's failings as a leader. Karen returned to Earth to receive her promotion, however the president was assassinated by Cybermen. The Senate used emergency powers to appoint Karen as the new president, and she immediately placed close friend Liam Barnaby as her commander-in-chief. In the early months of her administration, she struggled to maintain her popularity in the face of continuing defeats, and became more tempted by Project Scorpius, despite Liam finding all files had been erased on the orders of the previous president. After the androids began launching assaults on planets with high civilian populations, with Karen's parents among the casualties, she gave in and made contact with Paul Hunt. She transmitted to Scorpius on Hunt's asking, where she was placed under the Cybermen's control. Hunt joined Brett's administration as a political advisor and began deploying Cybermen on secret raids against android forces, as well as arranging for refugees fleeing Earth to be processed at the facility in the Isle of Wight and transported elsewhere for cyber conversion. Liam Barnaby clashed with Hunt frequently and found himself gradually ostracized from Karen, eventually resulting in his position being terminated. In response to the cyber incursions, the androids reassigned Samantha Thorne as a spy to investigate the Earth's government's use of cyber technology. Samantha sought out Liam and saved him from being assassinated. They travelled to the Isle of Wight processing facility after she followed transmissions from Paul Hunt, and were processed along with the refugees. However, Samantha managed to hijack the spaceship they were being transported on and divert it to android space. The androids fought the Cybermen for control of the ship, resulting in its destruction, with Liam being the only human survivor. Using information gathered from the destroyed Cybermen, the androids deduced that they were planning to reactivate the Master Hibernation Unit on Telos, and use it to activate cyber tombs across the galaxy. On Earth, Brett publicly revealed the existence of Scorpius, and claimed the Cybermen were volunteer special commando units who had been cybernetically enhanced. She placed the units on the streets of every major city, officially to help keep the peace and protect against android spies. The cyber planner suspected the androids could gain information on Telos from the transport ship, so decided to advance the master plan, having Brett place Earth under full martial law and announce she was personally leading an expedition against the androids. Karen was fully converted into a cyber leader and dispatched by the cyber planner to lead the expedition to Telos. Both factions discovered Telos had been shattered by an asteroid impact, with the Master Hibernation unit adrift in its remains. The android forces managed to prevent the Cybermen reawakening the vault, with all combatants involved perishing save for Liam and Samantha. With the Cyber leader lost and no contact from Telos, Paul Hunt took over the Earth government, claiming Karen Brett had perished fighting the androids. Liam and Samantha were left with a heavily damaged android spaceship, which took over 6 months to reach human space from Telos. Under Hunt's regime, Cybermen began kidnapping groups of humans for conversion, under the pretense of android attacks. These incidents and continued state of martial law led to a resistance forming. The cybrid Chessman was deployed by Earth military against the androids. Under the name of Corvus, he infiltrated the androids' military and was successfully pursued by Temeter and Sarah. The two agents were subject to a competency hearing by the Android War Council for their failure, and a previous failed mission to Tassoc. Sarah was sentenced to be reduced to a service droid. Samantha and Liam were rescued by a human vessel, the Novamore. They were eventually taken captive by Chessman, who had been on board undercover. Samantha escaped and made contact with the android forces, who informed her the Council had decided to deploy a doomsday weapon against Earth due to the Cybermen's presence. She decided to go to the Earth to prevent the weapon needing to be activated, and made contact with the Resistance. Meanwhile, Liam was brought back to Earth to be publicly executed as a traitor. Aided by Samantha, the Resistance rescued Liam from his execution and launched an attack on the Cybermen's base, so Samantha could interface with the Cyberplanner and disable it. They succeeded in gaining access, however her attack failed. Unable to defeat the Cyberplanner, she instead logically reasoned with it and convinced it that the growing resistance would lead to a war on Earth that they were not in a position to win. It accepted her logic and ordered its forces to withdraw from the planet. However, the strain of interfacing killed Samantha to Liam's horror. Before she died, she gave Liam the code to deactivate the android's weapon. The androids accepted Samantha's code and deactivated their planet killer. After leaving Earth, the Cyberplanner's fleet was intercepted and attacked by androids' vessels, putting an end to the war. In 2594, the Della News Network reported that some administration naval crew were nervous about serving under android captains due to the Orion War. Thousands of years after the Orion War, the Seventh Doctor visited Reclaim Platform Juliet November Kilo, where he encountered the service droid that was formerly Sarah. After the droid appeared to recognize him, he connected it to his TARDIS and discovered memories of the Orion War it still retained from Sarah. And that is the story of the Orion War, quite a unique one for the Cybermen in that their plan wasn't just total conversion, but a mix of espionage and playing the androids off against the humans. This series of events is also very closely related to the Dalek Empire series, as it uses almost the exact same key cast members and began in the main range of Big Finish. The more you know. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, then consider leaving a like and subscribing down below, as it really helps out the channel. But as always, thanks for watching.